Welcome to the Burned Out Preacher podcast, where we have frank discussions weekly on ministry struggles and how many of us in the ministry have gone from overwhelmed and exhausted to calm and equipped leaders who love being in ministry. I am your host, Monique Addison-Stinson, burnout prevention coach for ministry leaders. Are you ready to overcome burnout? If your answer is yes, then keep listening. Because we got a system.
We got a system that says that God can only move through a married pastor.
A married pastor.
That's our system. So now the church is burnt out. Burnt out of money, burnt out of membership, you ain't got a website no more, but you got a married pastor because your system is unbiblical. Your system is traditional. And Paul does go on to talk about hold on to the traditions of the faith, but some of this none of this is faith. Your granddaddy did something to somebody grandmama, and somebody deacon made a law based on what your granddaddy did to their grandmama. Now, 40 years later, all of them dead, but we got the same system.
The same system.
Wasn't this buried at the gravesite? But we kept the system. All right, that's fine. Go ahead. That's all right. That's fine. I thought we buried this. I thought when they said dust to dust, ashes to ashes, y'all had a meeting. Y'all ain't have a meeting. Oh, y'all kept it the same. All right, that's fine. I'll take my 3 points and move right along with me. That's fine. It's all right. That's okay. You go ahead on now. Y'all go ahead on. Enjoy that. But you wonder why the church isn't getting better.
Exactly.
Because y'all have made it a system.
Right.
Because who said we had to keep doing it like that?
Yeah, who said that?
And why do we give them so much authority? Let's slap them. Because they got us in bondage. I want to meet them. Who did it? Who said it? Who said that you couldn't that women couldn't sit in the pulpit? Who said that?
Right.
Who said that having a podcast was too much? What rule? Because it's not helping us. And we get and pastors that are forward thinking have the hardest time.
Yep.
In a lot of older settings.
Yes.
It's like, man, they don't want to move.
Yeah.
They don't want to move. They want to come, but they don't want to move.
They don't want to move.
So I was at the installation of one of my good brothers, Elder Corey Williams. He pastors Hall's Chapel Primitive Baptist Church in Salisbury. And my good classmate, his pastor, Elder Chester Brown, preached the installation service.
Okay.
And in one of his points, he talked about how sometimes in church, we say things like, we're moving too fast. And we miss the fact that we just said we're moving. I threw my jacket. I said, now, Chester, Negro, you preaching it here on a Saturday afternoon.
Come on now.
We will focus on the fact that within 2 months, we've taken in 30 new people. None of them look like us. And that's a problem. But wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did we take in new people, though?
Right.
Pastor, you moving too fast. We got a website and we got live streaming. We moving too fast. Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Who knew? How are you going to know the church unless it's Dr. Les Watson said, if your church ain't .com, it's .dead. So we need the website. Because then nobody know who drive out here in the woods and don't nobody know you. It's bad enough to see ain't got no poles out here with no service. So I'm thinking I'm helping. I think we got a small hotspot. And we moving too fast? All right, we moving too fast. Yep. And you know what ends up happening, Reverend Simpson?
Oh
The
God.
pastor is the only person that's going to sit there and tolerate that. The new people going to
Yeah.
say, okay, bye, we
Nah.
good.
I'm gonna go next.
We'll go right down here to
Mm-hmm.
another church
Yep.
that's going to accept us.
Right. Right.
It's going to accept us. Church had never had a praise team a day in its life. New pastor comes in, church grows, there's a praise team, we moving too fast. We used to sorrow songs. Well, sweetheart, Harriet Tubman ain't got to deliver us no more. We got some laws in place now that make this legal. So we don't want to keep singing, I'm going to stick my sword in the sand. I don't want to do that right now. Why am I 30 talking about till I die? I mean, it's a good song. I love it. I love a good old meter hymn.
Right.
But every week, what happened to You Are Good?
Mm.
Why can't we sing that? Why can't we sing His mercy endureth forever?
Right.
Why can't we do it? Why you upset? I know we got a hymn book. We're gonna sing our hymn. But can we be singing praises too? Why can't we do it? Why can't we let the babies do it? Where's the sunshine man at? Y'all come on. We miss it. And so that pastor is burnt out because don't nobody want to move.
Right.
Don't nobody want to move. Wife is upset. He's staying here. Nobody want to move. Children are upset. Not even interested in coming to church. Don't nobody want to move.
Exactly.
Now here we are pastoring a church that has great potential, but it's not kinetic. The difference between potential energy is stored up when it's potential.
Right.
But when it's kinetic, that means we're moving.
Moving. Yep.
And it's just like I often wonder when I see, you know, as a preacher, as a pastor, folks are always sending you, as a young preacher, people always send you, this church open, this church open. And I look at the requirements and I'm like, I wonder what would happen if we as preachers could start sending out requirements to churches before they could tell us what they would require. We require that when we get here, the Bible be what we go by first. We require that people know their roles and remain in their roles. We require visionary leadership to be accepted, even if it hurts your feeling. That's what we require. So before you start sending of us talking about you need to go to the association and the moderator, let me talk to you real quick and help you, because this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? This ain't God. God ain't sanctioned this. And by the time we have completed that process, we would see a lot more unions working together in tandem. So many of my friends in ministry, I call them, I'm happy as can be. They drain on the other end of the phone.
Yep.
Doc, what's going on, man? Head to a church meeting. What happened? Sister so-and-so fought this person. Huh? And they need you there for what? They can't, these are adults. They can't get, but the pastor's responsibility is to settle church disputes. That was in your contract? Yeah, and you signed it? You nice.
Right.
You nice, man. You cool. Wait, you wouldn't do it? What? Y'all all right. Y'all all right.
I'm loving this. I am loving all of this. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Because I mean, I hope so. I really do. Because there is indeed a generation of preachers that God is raising up that the older church likes. And here's why they like us: our style. I'm a young man, but I have an old spirit. Right. And my preaching is I'm an expository preacher. I hoop, I holler, do all of that. So they like the style because of what it reminds them of. And it's fresh.
Right.
The problem is if you elect me as pastor, I can't come to every meeting with 3 points.
See, now that's what we got.
It's not gonna be a sermon every week. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when you call us to your church to be your pastor, know what because you're not You're calling a young preacher in 2022. So I know what leadership looks like outside of church.
Right.
I've sat in boardrooms and looked at budget sheets outside of church. So as a consequence, ain't but too much of your church antics. And I'm like, okay, cool. No, it ain't okay, cool, D. That was, what are you talking about? Why would we not finance this if this is our goal?
Right.
See what I'm talking about?
Right.
So there's a generation of young preachers that God is indeed raising up that people who have been in church for some time appreciate.
Yeah.
Because of our style and our giftedness.
Right.
And oil is very much attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But oil is also weighty.
Mm-hmm.
It is fattening. So can you handle the weight of this oil? Because again, only in Black church, you've never heard a white pastor say, it took me 7 years to become a pastor. Black church, we say that all the time. That's common talk.
Yep.
You ain't the pastor until about 5 years. Wait a minute. So what was the whole point of the installation? Why do we put on our robes? That's why I love the Amy Zion Church. Amy Zion don't even do installation. Amy Zion, I was on the phone with two of my buddies. I was on the phone with Dr. Maurice Hart and Reverend Jamin Leach. I said, y'all don't do installations. But Dr. Maurice Hart said, no, your first day is the day you there. Hey, now you keep going. We could do an anniversary. We could do pastor appreciation, installation. What? Negro, your first fight is your installation. Okay? You installation, all in. Baptists, we do installation. And we still say that after about 5 years, you the pastor. We still say that. Why? Because our mentality ain't shifted.
That's so sad.
Our mentality ain't shifted.
That's so sad. But I am inspired.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm inspired and my soul's happy after listening to you. I'm telling you, I am. Well, I hope I'm around to see this.
Amen. We believe it. We receive that.
To see the new preachers coming up, because Lord knows I'm tired of the way it is. I'll just say that.
And it's amazing when I look at the young preachers and older preachers, because we manage things so different. So differently. Like some stuff our mentors, they stood and they took. Yeah. We're like, we're not gonna.
No.
We're not gonna take that, man. Like, I'm so sorry. I love the advice. I do. I sit there and I soak it up. And when you was taught, like we were taught, you just let the older preachers talk to you. Don't say that. So I just be there, yes, sir. In my mind, Negro, I would have left immediately, or somebody would have been told, we're not rebel rousers, but don't attack our personalities.
Exactly.
Because it's not what you think. Because we're not asking you to submit to our personality. That's what you submit to the oil.
Right.
And a lot of what our forefathers and foremothers just took as par for the course, we're like, okay, well, let's redefine the course then, because the course ain't right.
Exactly.
Of course ain't right. And if that means we have to start other churches, then we start other churches.
Absolutely.
So people wonder why all these churches are starting, all churches are planting up. Well, that's because the one that's on the corner for 140 years, it looks real good, but there's demons there, and no one wants to say that. Nobody wants to say it. I know we don't believe in demons no more. So nobody wants to say that. No, and so as a consequence, we'll take our anointing, and we'll build it. We'll build the churches.
Absolutely.
Well, because at some point, somebody's got to say, yeah, y'all missed out on a gift. I got a phone call today from a friend of mine. Church completely missed out on his gift.
Yeah.
Because of how we think.
Yep.
And what we say we want. Yeah. But that's not what the word of God.
Exactly.
That's not like, and so we're at the point now where it's like, Lord, the people who are here, the Moses generation, we see why they couldn't go to Canaan now.
Mm-hmm.
So we see, we know y'all, because y'all are so accustomed to someone beating y'all that when there's a leader that's not beating on you, you think you're crazy.
Right.
So the first thing you do when it don't go your way is, I want to go back to Egypt. Yeah. Why would you want to go back?
Right.
That Negro was killing y'all.
Right.
Think about it. To go back to a place where the edict was, if you had a baby boy, kill him.
Yep.
And you mean to tell me that because it's getting hot in the wilderness, that's what you would want to go back to?
Right.
Like, really, let's look at the text. That's exactly where they wanted to go back to. Right. So you get someone new in your life of a church, and he's intentional about having a team and a support system to help guard his mind and spirit against being burnt out. Yep. And you mean to tell me you would rather go back to the pastors that did not have their team, and so their marriage failed? Yep. And their children hate the church now? Do you want to go back to that? Yeah. And some of our people don't even understand just how unchristlike.
Ooh. Podcast number 6.
Oh, yeah.
That's
we got a series. We got a series. Ooh. You don't know how unchristlike it is. We don't want our pastor single because we don't need him dating. But how are you going to get married?
Right.
Because I'm dating. How are we going to get married?
They just going to find somebody.
She going to glide. She going to come from God going to send her that. That's not how that's happening. And it's sure enough not going to be one of y'all. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We don't have that mentality, though. We don't do it.
Help us.
We don't have that mentality because we are not being taught that at some point what we've been thinking about in terms of ministry has indeed been skewed because of people's preference and because of what people think they want when it comes down to a leader in the church, and not even just the pastor, but in any ministerial capacity. Yep. We've got folk who just don't have a clue. This what you want? With the history that y'all got, this what you see.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Listen, I'm dealing with that now. It is so frustrating, but to protect my peace, I set them out.
Look, I don't even. I've started saying okay and sitting back.
Yep.
That's what y'all want. Okay.
You want to do that? Okay, go right ahead.
Being the SGA president at Livingstone, I told my friend Ananias Word, he's pastoring a church out in Monroe. I love Ananias. And he and I were talking about, pastoring and my SGA position. He was like, how's it going? I said, Word, be honest with you, I feel like I'm dealing with the grandkids of the folk you got. They said, this thing is generation. That's wrong.
Right.
It's embedded. Yeah, at some point, there's got to be embedded in you to be awful because folks don't want to move.
Yep.
Don't want to agree, but want all this change. So how are we gonna get to the change? And I refuse to. How I avoid that burnout often is I have to analyze. Okay,
yeah,
I know I already got to go through the hard work of preparing the sermon, and then I got to go through the hard work of preaching it.
Yeah,
I would rather send my energy there.
Yep.
Than to have to sit going back and forth with you. If you don't want healing, I'm not going to force you to be healed. You can keep coughing.
Absolutely.
And that's where most pastors don't draw the line.
Exactly.
And you got preachers like me and like my colleagues. We're there. Y'all don't want to get better? Cool. That don't get better then.
Okay.
But the pastors that went before us, in the name of love, in the name of being a shepherd of the sheep
Yeah.
continue to try to force medicine down people's throats who would rather die of that cancer.
Yep.
No, we're at in 2022, you can just die.
Yeah.
If that's what,
That's what you want.
If that's what you want,
Mhm.
if this is the life you're claiming you want,
Yep.
then cool. Because we got so many other things that we can be doing outside of ministry that if you don't want our gift, that's fine.
That's
you know how many, the corporate world is opening up to some of the young Black men in America. You think about the city and take this abuse?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can carry the same skill set over in marketing and make more money.
Right.
With less people.
Come on.
So our generation of preachers, how we are avoiding the burnout is we're choosing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would I since burnout is unavoidable.
Yeah.
What am I going to be burnt out over?
Yeah.
Am I going to be burnt out because I know we need a website and if they don't want it and they're going to keep telling me how bad we don't need it? No. I'm not going. Some battles I'm not going to fight with you.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to fight with you.
Absolutely. And I love to show you can take your talent somewhere else because do you know how you already know. You already know how, and it's not about money, but it's just about you being able to take care of yourself and your family. It's just so much more you can do with that gift and other places. You can start online courses. You can become a speaker. Like it's just so many other things.
I tell people all the time, I love expository preaching, but if Black folk keep getting on my nerves, I can take all this and be a motivational speaker and be topical all the days of my life. This ain't
absolutely Tony Robbins who?
Right. Because but the church will drive you to that place.
Absolutely.
If you let it though.
If you let it.
Because there's just some things as like when I was at LC, I'm not gonna argue with you. You don't want to come to the meeting? Okay, cool, don't come. That's fine.
Yeah.
They don't bother you? Nope. I get good sleep. I do my job. And those who don't do theirs will continue to fade away.
Yeah.
So when you don't get the recognition, don't get upset.
Yep.
You didn't come. So I'm gonna celebrate because I came, and the vice president came, and the Mr. Livingstone came, and the Miss Livingstone. You ain't come.
Absolutely.
So we're not gonna argue with you. You can say whatever you want to say in group chats and all this stuff. No, I ain't gonna respond. You all right? Because you really are okay. You all right? You just mad, but you all right. We at that point.
I think we related or something. Cause you
absolutely, we got to be. We got to be, Addison-Stinson, because this is not. We're not going to be. No, we're not going to be okay. Because you got to start thinking about my body matters.
Exactly.
So often when we get upset as preachers, it impacts our whole body. I'm not going to the doctor because I'm stressed.
Right.
You know how many Black preachers have stress strokes?
Yep.
Your whole U45, you have a stroke. And now because of the impact of that stroke, you look much older than you are. I rebuked that a long time ago. I'm not going to. If I'm going to go to the doctor, it's going to be because Pastor Wade, you did not eat right.
Right.
It's not going to be because at the deacon's meeting, you told me I could go to hell. What? I'm going home, getting on the Xbox and calling it a day. We're not going to worry about you.
Absolutely.
But Black church, though, the mere fact that these are things that happen, our white pastors are outliving us.
Yeah.
Our white pastors are outliving us. Why is that? Look at their system.
Yeah, the statistics. I have to send them to you. They are unreal.
And they pastor multi-ethnic churches in rural areas, some city areas, but mostly rural areas. 30 people, 40 people. but finances are taken care of.
Yep.
Because they're connected to a plant that takes care of all of that. So they outlive us because we have a team. For example, I graduated from the school is now Christ Classical Academy of Charlotte, but when I went, it was called Back Creek Christian Academy in Charlotte. We had a teacher there. He was a science teacher. His name is Tommy Rose. He's an elder who sits on, and this is the first time I heard this. He goes to a church. It's a multi-ethnic church called Wellspring Church.
Oh yeah. I've heard of it.
He sits on what's called a Council of Elders. I said, who? He said, we have a Council of Elders. I said, what does the Council of Elders do? This is what he said. In case our pastor is either unavailable or unable, we have designed a system that does not make the show about him. Don't y'all have a council of elders? No, we got associates, we got deacons, we got a trustee board, we got a janitor. He comes in around 2 o'clock on Mondays. Yeah.
That's about it.
That amazed me. Now, here's the kicker. They have church out of a school.
Wow.
We having mortgage burning services. We running revivals at our facilities. And the main show is still about the pastor.
Right.
And if they can develop a system and they're running church out of a public school.
Right.
And you got your own building. You got all this equipment. Because it's some nice equipment now. Your pulpit chair is right.
Right.
It's smack dab in the middle. That's what I want. God give me my church. I still want the traditional pulpit structure, but it's gonna be acrylic.
Okay.
But, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we have all that they are working up to, but they've got the better system. So when I walked into that school and to see it packed, and I mean, everything just,
yeah.
And I'm like, and the pastor wasn't even preaching that Sunday. I said, it's still packed. You mess around. Look, let me tell you something. Look, you already know where I'm going. You let word get out in the black church.
Yeah, they ain't coming.
Pastor Stinson ain't gonna be here. Oh, what? Shoot. Oh, girl, what church we going to? Because Pastor Stinson ain't gonna be there, and we ain't trying to hear Minister Josh preach.
Right.
No, you don't do it for me. So we go to your church.
Exactly.
Come 10 a.m., come 11 a.m. on Sunday morning, that church is empty.
Yep.
That church empty. They don't even, I tell my friends, hey, look, please tell your congregants that I do a decent job, because I don't want to come and don't nobody be there, because I can't preach like you. So please don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, just let them know. Because if you're not preaching, they're not coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They may come for a revival, but Sunday morning, we want to hear the pastor.
Exactly.
And so I'll never forget Dr. Arthur Jackson. He built his church built a new facility, and the deacon got up there and he said, some of you in the ministry and some of you in the church have a drive-by ministry. When you don't see the pastor's car in the spot, you drive by. He said, but in order to avoid that, we now have a garage. Okay. That way you don't know if the pastor here or not. I said, this is what we need to do. We need to have churches with garages. That way, when you got that come hoping that I'm there, but you still got to come. I love it. But he talked to me about that. He said the system is designed so that he's not the main person. He's the pastor. We submit to his authority, but the Bible supports the system.
Yes.
Where there is a council of us that are responsible. Now, what's funny, again, He's not the person who told me about that is a teacher at a school in Charlotte. So the council is diverse. So imagine who they have possibly, potentially designing the curriculum for the children's ministry. Not the legal assistant down there at the law firm, mad all the time. Let's get the teacher in here.
Absolutely.
So now, because the pastor's not the main character, he doesn't have to bear the burden by himself.
Exactly.
He got to bear the burden by himself.
Yeah.
We don't have that. You talk about a council of elders at Little Rock Baptist Church in Maybach. Counselor, we don't need no counselor elder. We ain't never had no daggone counselor elder. What counselor elder? What's the elder? Elders ain't, we don't need no elder. All right.
Lord Jesus.
The pastor in the hospital got one leg, but we don't need the counselor elders. All right, that's fine. We don't need the counselor. You don't need counsel. We need to start putting these members up to preach. How about you preach?
Right.
You don't need a counsel. Let's see if you can do what I can do. Since you got so much lip. That's what we need to start doing. That's what I'm going to do. Mess around here. Mess with me. That's what you want to. Pastor, we don't need you. Great. You're up.
You are a mess.
Y'all put some of y'all to preach. Let's start cycling through. All those with a complaint, come here. You preach on first Sunday. You preach on second Sunday. Let's start assigning folk. Let's start doing it.
Absolutely.
One pastor, I'll never forget, church wasn't giving. He was telling them, if y'all don't give, these lights are not going to be able to stay on. He said, y'all not giving. After a few weeks, giving stayed the same. They didn't increase. He cut off all the lights. He said, we're going to worship in the dark. He was like, well, why would you do that? He said, because based on how you all are responding to the fact that we have a need, and y'all acting like as if I just want money for myself. I'm going to show you what it's like to worship in the dark. So now let's try to find our hymn pages in the dark.
Let's try to find.
Given went up. But we got to start having illustrations.
Right.
Everyone's talking about we need illustrations and sermons. Let's go ahead on. Let's illustrate this point right here.
Exactly.
Because it's time for members to start experiencing what we have to take home and can't tell nobody about.
Yeah. In order for you to not be burned out.
Because I'll put it like this. The male preachers and pastors who mentor me always told me, never tell your wife about the church. I was like, well, why? Very simply, she'll end up hating the church. Ain't that a shame?
That's sad.
That has been a consistent theme.
That's sad.
I'm talking about mentors who don't even know each other. You don't tell your wife about the church, Justin, because you're going to end up ruining your marriage. To read that in a book.
Right. That's sad.
And it's like, God, your people. Because whether we like it or not, Reverend Stinson, they still his people.
Yep.
And it's like, man, my wife would be able to come in and tell me all about her day. I ain't gonna hate nothing about what she do. But because it is assumed that this job will end up making your whole home turn upside down, just tell her it was a good day. Now I got to go out to one of my hangout spots because I can't say everything on the podcast. Right. So now I got to go to one of my hangout spots. I still want preaching the gate for Trevor Stinson. So I can't say everything. So I got to go to one of my hangout spots. And I got to call Julian Thompson and tell him all about how the meeting went down there at the church. Just so I could get some sanity. And if there's anything I would say to any young preacher, invest in therapy now. That helps with burnout too.
Yes. And you mentioned BetterHelp. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah.
I used to be ashamed to talk about it, but therapy works. And the Bible teaches us to take wise counsel. I sit right there. Oh, it's an app.
Yep.
And I look at my therapist in the face and I just go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But black people have problem with therapy.
I know.
Because we are taught what happens at home
stays at home.
And the problem is it never stays at home.
It doesn't. Oh, it comes out.
And without you saying it, without you ever saying it, because how you treat people, how you manage your money, how you manage your job, whether or not you have a job.
Right.
And it's like y'all do realize it never stays in the home.
Right. Right.
It never stays in the home.
Right.
It always shows up. Some of the people who I've had to advise, some of the students at Livingstone who have confided in me.
Yep.
I say all the time, this started when you were 5.
Yep.
This ain't just happened yesterday. Now this happened when you were 3 years old. How? Your grandfather, your father, your grandmother, your mother, somebody. Because it ain't just toxic masculinity, it's toxic family. Wherever there's breath, there's the potential to be toxic. The whole environment was toxic.
There you go.
Because you were traumatized, and because it was your uncle, your father said, don't say nothing to nobody.
Right.
And it don't even just have to be molestation. You saw your father abuse your mother. Don't say nothing. You saw your mother struggling on drugs. Don't say nothing.
Right.
His problem, you didn't say anything, but then you started liking weed, gateway. Then you started having sexual promiscuity issues. Why? It starts at home.
Exactly.
But or I had a picture perfect home with my mom and my dad there.
Yep.
No one paid attention to me though. So now I feel like I gotta be a perfectionist. Looking for someone to see me. It all starts.
Right. Right.
It all starts.
Right. But if you got some counseling.
If you took some time to sit on somebody's couch, sit on your couch.
Right.
And put up that video screen and lay down. And talk to somebody.
Exactly.
An unbiased source.
Yep.
Who can tell you, yeah, your members are crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you crazy too.
Yep.
Because it can't just be them. It's us.
Putting up with it. So.
At some point, it can't just be Sister Shirley. It's Dr. Wade too.
Yep.
Go ahead on, because maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
Sister Shirley. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said, well, you go ahead on and you find a better way. I should have said that. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to my doctor real quick, because that wasn't right. I told her that Jesus didn't die for somebody like that. I shouldn't have said that to her. You was right. That broke her heart, didn't it? My personality, shoot, I'm gonna have to be right there, Doc. That was me, Doc. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was me. You told the deacon he could leave and he couldn't walk. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Right.
I told him to walk out of here, knowing he just had that leg amputated. That wasn't right. I shouldn't have did that. God, come on, Wade. I shouldn't have did it, but I did. Damn, I'm upset. I shouldn't have did it. Hey, I'm sorry, church. Gotta get up there, gotta apologize.
But if it wasn't for counseling, you wouldn't have said
it. If it wasn't for the counseling, I wouldn't have apologized. I would have kept right on going. But now that I got a therapist, I can say, well, look, before I take the text, I shouldn't have went off on y'all like that. I'm so sorry. Now, Acts chapter 2. Try to do something with Pentecost. See if I can recover from it.
Oh, God. You got my stomach hurt.
Look, you gotta forgive me. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Can we take communion? Let's do communion. I know it was. Because it was me, Ernest. It was me. I'm sorry, it was me. What did Dr. Jamal Bryant say? I am the problem. I'm sorry. Right. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. My slick mouth, she told me go to hell. I said, see you there. That was me. I should have said I'm praying for you, but my doggone it. Now her son up here wanting to fight. Lord Jesus. Now I need my security because I can't fight him. You see how skinny I got the. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Sister Shirley. You right. You know what? I should have just went to hell. All right. I ain't gonna, you got because sometimes it's us.
Right.
It's our ego.
Right.
It's our pride.
Yep.
It's our main character syndrome. It's all of that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And sometimes that impacts the areas that are most critical.
Yeah.
And so there would be meetings that I would have as SGA president, and I had to pray, Lord, let Justin sit down for a little while.
Yeah.
Even when he wants to come out, because you got to really talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Because like my best friends know how Justin wants to respond to the situation.
Same.
but they didn't elect Justin. They elected the president that was within me.
Right.
So I got to be diplomatic and say, okay, guys. But every now and again, you're gonna get what you need.
Same.
Every now and again, you got to get just a little bit.
Do you name your alter ego? Because mine is Nikki.
Mine is my middle name, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's because that means God with us. That way I can sanctify it.
Right.
That way I can.
That was my dad's middle name.
Wow. Yeah. See what I'm saying? I'll never forget when my pastor came, Dr. George Hughes III. He came as a successor to Reverend James Brunson. We were all sitting down there in the lounge. He said, "Look, this is what y'all know right now. I ain't scared of none of y'all." Said, "Yes, sir."
As a kid,
I'm gonna say that. Let church call me. Hey, look, I love y'all. Look, thank y'all for all this nice installation. I ain't scared of nobody. Make that clear now. I ain't scared of nobody in here. Amen. Amen. Let us say, everybody say, like, because every now and again, people need to know that may be the pastor, but that's a man. That's a woman.
Exactly.
And you can't, there ought just be some things that you can't, first of all, you can't talk about my family. Can't talk about my wife, can't talk about my children. That's when you don't get pastor. There's no pastoral counseling for that. You talk about me, all right, cool. I'm dead to that. But there ought to be certain boundaries we set up to warn the flock of God. This may be when you want to call an election again, right? Because we can't be so divine that we lose the fact we're human.
Exactly.
I told one of my friends the other day, part of the problem is that we keep putting our faith in the preacher.
Yep.
Trust the one I'm preaching. Trust Jesus, because he's not gonna cuss you out.
Yeah, I'm a human.
But every now and again, I will call Reverend Stinson and say, "Hey, look, they ain't see the podcast. Come here." I said maybe you need to send it again as a link, because clearly they wasn't on Facebook.
People know,
right? They didn't see it. I'm fly you in. They ain't see it. Come in, talk. Tell them what we talked about, because it's apparent that they don't know. I'm gonna be in the back. These young people now, you take as long as you want, because they missed it. They missed when I said that. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I've been, Lord.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Yeah. You gotta let folks know this ain't what we're gonna do. We're not about to do this right here. Not here.
Lord, listen. My cheeks and my stomach hurt.
This is good. I love this. I do this all day. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I can't. I can't. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways you can get rid of burnout is laugh. So I'm gonna tell everybody where they can find you so they can laugh.
Listen, my Instagram is Preach Wade, and Facebook is just. But I gotta be mindful, because saints always are on my social media ready to be offended And I'm just like, okay, and sometimes,
Right.
if you gotta temper and taper that.
Right.
So I don't put all of that out there, unless I'm invited to share with you in dialogue, but I laugh intentionally every day on purpose, every
But they
day.
need to come hear you preach. Is this like in your preaching? Like this part of your preaching?
Every now and again, if I want you to talk back to me, I'll emphasize. I want you to say something. If I want you to talk back to you,
Are you gonna tell your neighbor preacher?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you that I'm more interested in you talking back to me.
Okay.
Than you are your neighbor. I want you to talk back to me. So every now and again, I'm like, oh, so this side ain't caught it. All right, so I'm gonna be back at 5. Come over.
Gotcha.
I never forget. I was preaching at NASAP. It's a conference for college students. They didn't give me the response I like. I said, so I'm gonna preach the NASAP side. They believe me. NASAP side was right behind me. I turned around just like this right here. They got with me after a while. You gotta illustrate the folk. I ain't playing. No, you gonna talk back. You go look. What are you gonna do? You got all these points is good. Let me stop. But I was talking back. Y'all ain't I'm not gonna bother. You got to bother your neighbor, but I'll
as long as I have to talk to my neighbor, I'm good.
I know you good. Just talk back to me from start to finish. Yeah, just let me find some room. But when I think I want to talk back, I can't get no company. That's when they come in. And I love it. That's a black church cue. It all depends because some folks still won't talk back to you.
Right.
Well, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll preach all day until somebody say something. It's all right. Yeah, I'll let to do that. I would tell you offline about some of those experiences.
In the black church, those amens get real loud when they want you to rap.
They get real loud because black church people don't want to be left out. They won't be left out. So even if you're not saying nothing and you demand to talk back, they're gonna do it because don't nobody want to. Guess what? When you ask, do I have around 2 or 3 people? You get 8 people to stand up because. They don't want to be left out, Reverend Stinson. They don't want to be left out. They be right there. Oh, you ain't gonna leave me out of it. You ain't gonna say I wasn't standing. They gonna use that when they get to heaven and God tell them no the first time. Well, remember when Wade said, "Can he have a witness?" You ain't see me up there standing. I stood, God, trying to get in. Don't you got that video? They got it on live streaming, God. They got me something. They got it on Facebook. I was up there like this. Hey, we got to stop. We got to wrap up. We got to do.
Okay, listen. I'm wrapping it up. I have no final words. I'm just done. I can't.
Oh, this has been fun. Thank you so much for this. Oh, I love this so much. I love this.
Oh God.
I have enjoyed this time.
I have got to bring you back on.
Oh, I would love to. You let me know. We're gonna do it up.
Ooh, listen, I am done. I'm just gonna say bye, everybody, because my stomach hurt.